cost. Find out what we're not doing wrong, find out what we should be doing right, okay? And funding rehab, addicts can't get, okay, yeah. Anyway, Florida will come up here, I've been checking, $12,000, they'll come and get my son and treat him. And they'll do family intervention too, for $12,000. It costs $20,000 in Alberta. That's what it costs, $20,000 to one of our centers here. And they're free to walk out of them. It's too easy. And there's what, 4 or 5 centers here? And my son's biggest thing about going to a center here is, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to pay for this if I go to a treatment center? They need 30 days if they're on cocaine or meth. It's not easy, guys. It ain't easy. And not everybody has a mama that can pay the rent. Well, I'm out of money right now because I also got a brother with a brain injury sitting in the hospital for 30 days trying to find him a home. And the government will only pay till he's 65. He's 62. He better die before he hits 65 because I'm out of money. You know, well, that's my life. It don't discriminate. Sorry. You know, I'm out of tears. You know, and I buried my dad 2 years ago too. I'm out of family too, and out of money. You know, so it's just shit happens, and it happened to my family. So, and like I said, drugs don't discriminate. So you're lucky it hasn't happened to you, but it's happened to a lot of you people here. And I'm sorry that the crime is here, but it's not going to go away if you close this center. It will get worse. You just got to move it and get some damn money poured in there to help these people. Okay, that's all I got to say.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
That was great. Thanks for sharing your heart, whatever her name was. And I think that's a big part of what all of this is that we're getting to see the heart of the city. And I think it's a little bit sad in some cases. But at the same time, it's kind of exciting because we know that there needs to be change. We know that we're in a time when, as a transient city in between Calgary and Edmonton, we see it all coming through, and a lot of people are staying. I work downtown at Safe Harbor, the warming center, right beside the safe injection site. I live downtown in the River Valley, so I'm right across from one of the soup kitchens. I go to Potter's Hands Church, which is a street ministry church, and I volunteer at the Potter's Hands Soup Kitchen downtown as well. So you can imagine that this is somewhat my community as well. And every one of the people in the city who are in addiction, or any other city who are in addiction, they do have a dis-ease of the body, like that lady said. Yet we don't treat it like a dis-ease. We treat it like it's the plague. We treat it like it's not my problem, but this is the society that we've created that creates trauma in people's lives. They become empty, they seek something, and for a lot of people, addiction is their warm blanket on a cold night. It's the only thing that they have. And I think as a city, we need to come together organizationally. We need to have all the organizations and churches working together, not each one doing their own separate thing and calling it the day. We need to be working together. We need to be treating this more of a dis-ease than just some affliction. Like it's not going to go away with having just meetings like this and then doing nothing about it. It's just not going to go away. And those people who are angry that it's in your city, sorry, but it's in your city. Get over it, and instead of just harping about the problem, become a part of the solution to the problem. We all want to sit around and complain about it, but who's really willing to stand up and do something about it? And there's a lot of things that can be done. Yeah, there's a lot of needles that are lying around. I live downtown. I see it downtown all the time. I see it in parks. I've cleaned up with the mustard seed. I've cleaned up different areas, but that's not coming from the safe injection site. There is a place in this city for a safe injection site. Maybe it's not downtown. Maybe that's not the best place right in the same parking lot as detox. I don't think that's a great idea, but do I see a need for this injection site? Yes, I do, because they are helping to clean up. But at the same time, why are we giving out bags of needles to people instead of having a needle exchange? You want needles? That's fine, you can come get needles, but why not go and pick up a bag of dirty needles and bring them in and exchange them for your clean needles? And you don't receive clean needles until you bring in some of the dirty needles. Why are we taking the responsibility on ourselves to clean up when we're not creating the problem? We can be a support to the problem, but I think that we need to be putting the onus on the people who are having a hard time. Like they they want to hide it. They want to hide it because there is shame attached to addiction. I know that because I came from it. There is shame attached to it, so you do want to hide it. But at the same time, you want support walking through it. So let's get together as a city. Let's be that support system. Let's figure out what it looks like together, not stepping on each other's toes.
Thank you. I think we're basically, it sounds like you maybe have talked yourselves out tonight here. I'm going to thank you for being so respectful. I know that there's lots of emotion here. I witnessed you create space for others to share, and I also saw the courage of you stepping forward to speak to your fellow community members. So as somebody who was tasked with moderating this meeting, I'm going to thank you for creating that environment. Okay. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Rod here, and he'll share some closing remarks.
So I'll be relatively brief, folks. It's been a long evening. I thank you all for being here tonight. I guess a little overwhelmed with the turnout this evening. It's a great turnout, and it just demonstrates to me and my colleagues on the committee that you care about your community, you're interested in finding solutions, and you truly are dedicated to making this a better city. And you've got some challenges, you've got some issues. I thank you so much for sharing those with us. I thank folks for being here, as well as the folks that come up to the microphone for the disclosures you've made, the personal disclosures you've made. That helps us in our mandate in providing very valuable information to the government that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten, other than you coming up to the mic and sharing your stories with us. No matter what your position is on this issue. So I thank you for being brave. I thank you for the fact you care for your community. And I thank you for welcoming us here this evening and sharing. So thanks very much.